Screen reads and teaching points. The ball screen is one of the most common actions in our game today, but I personally feel that it's one of the most overused and under-taught concepts. This video, we hope to teach you a little bit more about why and how you can make your offense better through using the ball screen. The first reason why you would want to use the ball screen is to create a mismatch in terms of personnel and who is guarding whom. Most times the ball screen occurs between a post player and a guard, and if a switch occurs, then there's a favorable matchup for both positions and the advantage is yours. The second reason why the ball screen is because it gives the offense an advantage by making 3 defenders guard 2 offensive players. You have the screener and the dribbler in terms of offense in the ball screen, but defensively you have the on-ball defender, the man guarding the screener, and then the help defender who's going to have to take the role and guard on the weak side, putting the offense in an advantageous situation. The third way that you can use the ball screen to help your team out offensively is to get a shot blocker away from the rim. If you're playing against a big, tall post player that really contests shots and makes it hard to score inside, making him guard a screener out on the 3-point line to help on a dribble where he's not as skilled can be a great way to give the offense an advantage. The fourth reason that you should use the ball screen is to simply put the opponent's forward in foul trouble. If you're playing against a team and their best player is one of their forwards, getting some early fouls on him as he goes to hedge and contest the dribbler on ball screen coverage can be a great way to put him on the bench and keep your team in the game. The final reason why you should ball screen is because when a ball screen occurs, one defender has to guard 2 offensive players on the weak side of the floor. Because the forward and the on-ball defender have to guard the dribble for a certain time period in ball screen coverage, that leaves fewer defenders on the weak side to guard more offensive players, again giving you an advantage so long as the point guard can handle the ball and make the appropriate read. Now let's check out some multiple clips of where the ball handler does wait for the screener. In the first one here you see Lillard hold the ball to allow the screener to come, puts his man into the screen and gets himself an uncontested shot. The next 3 musts are all grouped together. That's eyes first, pace to space, and then coming off reading and making the play. Here, as you see Paul coming off the screen, you can see how his chin's on his shoulder, his eyes are downhill, and he hesitates to buy time and make the play. At a few clips now where the screen is refused, and I'm going to show you which defenders the point guard should be watching to make the appropriate read. The first person that the ball handler is watching is his man to see if he's trying to lunge and force him over top the screen. Once the screen has been rejected, the point guard is then looking at the ball side corner man's defender to decide whether or not he should take the ball to the rack or pass if that defender decides to help over on his drive. Here you can see it again whenever Curry's defender tries to force him over top the screen. The corner man does not help off Clay, which allows Steph to get all the way to the rim for a finish. Let's go ahead now and look at the different ways that defenses choose to cover ball screens. The first one is what I refer to as under coverage, and that's whenever the defender that's guarding the ball handler slides underneath the screen to try to prevent the guard from turning the corner and getting all the way to the rim. The next type of coverage that we're going to talk about is a hedging coverage. Many teams use this when they're playing against an elite point guard because they like to reroute him off the screen and force him uphill where he's less of a threat. The hedge takes place whenever the forward guarding the screener lunges at the ball handler in order to send him uphill and make him take a longer route around the screen and eventually to the basket. The first read that the ball handler looks to make when he sees a hedge occurring is to split. Again, the guard can make an effective split by lunging his eyes and shoulders uphill to create more space when the big slides up and then crossing the ball back over and attacking through the gap that was created.